I've been asked to explain what is a CRA, or an economic development zone, and what is the true cost to the taxpayers. The true cost to the taxpayers, being told by politicians, is it won't cost you anything. In actuality, you are entirely subsidizing this economic development zone or community redevelopment association known as a CRA. California is now trying to close them down. Governor Jerry Brown, back in about July 2011, announced to his legislature, and now it's being fought in the Supreme Court, why they need to close down the CRAs or redevelopment associations in California. Governor Brown is trying to close down all of them. Why? Because they have been taking billions of taxpayer dollars every year out of the economy to fund redevelopment in single districts alone, specific areas alone. What's left is lack of funding for crucial needs such as schools, fire, emergency medical services, and now he's in a fight with the Supreme Court to stay his course. That's what Governor Brown is dealing with in California. In Brevard County, we're dealing with $150 million over the next 30 years being poured into just one part of Brevard County, one small, tiny part, probably less than 8% of the county, and it's going to receive $150 million. That's your taxpayer dollars going to one small section. Where do you think the money is going to come from to fund these improvements in that one area? Well, let me give you an analogy. Take Kansas. If Kansas didn't want to contribute to the federal government, and we said, okay, Kansas, we're going to leave you off the hook. Well, then who's going to pay their share of the taxes due to the federal government? You and I are. Our taxes have to go up to pay for their fair share that they owe to the federal government. There is no free lunch for anyone. So to think that this $150 million is not going to cost you a penny, yes, it is. It's going to cost you $150 million in increased property taxes. Property taxes that have increased 30% in the last 2 years alone, they will continue to increase if we don't put a stop to this plan immediately. And the commissioners that are complaining, telling us we have to raise taxes to be able to balance the budget, are the very commissioners doing the siphoning of money off to benefit special interest groups. They will tell you, the other politicians, they will tell you that this isn't costing you anything, that the money's coming from that area and staying in that area. I will tell you they're wrong. There will be a hole created because when you take money from one area and just keep it in that one specific area, that creates a hole. The hole is going to cost you over $150 million in the next 30 years. Every area of Brevard County has a share to contribute to the tax base. If their share is not being contributed, then it has to be made up somewhere. You will be making up that $150 million share that would otherwise go to fund general government services. So, who does this benefit specifically? I'll tell you. The businesses in the Titusville area. Well, what about the residential property owners? You're not going to receive a benefit from that. You are going to be paying more in taxes. And that's the misconception out there. Most people believe if you're in District 1 in the Titusville area, you will not pay more in taxes. But you will, because the share that should be contributed by the business property is not being contributed. And when it's not being contributed by one, somebody else has to make up the difference. That will fall on your backs as well as the backs of every other Brevard County taxpayer. Well, if it's about creating jobs, I've already mentioned in past commission meetings how many jobs were lost in the south part of the county from Merritt Island south. Yet we are going to be giving $150 million in the next 30 years to the Titusville area alone when we're the ones without the jobs. Not only that, we lost our jobs 2 and 3 years ago when the construction industry died. The Titusville area and North Brevard is just now losing their jobs with the end of the shuttle program. So if any part of the county needs assistance, it would be the southern part of Brevard County. Plus, if this economic zone is such a fantastic idea, why not extend it? Have it cover the entire county. Instead of being an elitist and showing only one part of the county deserves a benefit, all of Brevard County or none of Brevard County. But you don't pick and choose who the winners and losers are in a county. It's wrong, it's complete inequity, and it's just shy of being criminal. The reason I brought up California is because they're at their end game. They're beginning to collapse their economy. And the governor has realized they no longer have the funding to run government in the state or in the counties. So the best way to fix this is to close out the CRAs. I'm trying to close a loophole before it gets out of control, and the state of Florida runs into the tank like so many other places. What I'm trying to convey is, before the state of Florida takes on any more CRAs, whether it's in Brevard County, Lake County, Seminole County, it doesn't matter. They're destroying the economies of many of those municipalities. So if we close the loophole now, then we will stop the cherry picking and let business flourish as they should. Supply and demand, reduced regulations, and you will have a vibrant economy. There is no free lunch. Where do you think the money comes from? You can't just go around picking which people will be the winners and which businesses will be the losers. It's not fair, it's not right. All of the county will be losers if we continue to fund these CRAs. You need to ask yourself, should Brevard County be bailing out the Titusville business owners at the expense of the entire county? You ask Palm Bay residents, would you like to bail out the Titusville area? Ask Melbourne residents, do you want to bail out the Titusville area? How about those in Barefoot Bay? Or Vieira and Suntree, do you want to bail out the Titusville business owners when you work so hard for what you have? I leave that question to you.